Out, so off you go. All right.
Welcome, everyone, to Essential Oils Around the World. We're going to take a tour and find out more about essential oils, where they come from, how they can help us, and how they are distilled. I'm going to start with one that pretty much everybody is familiar with, and that would be lavender. It is steam distilled with flowering top. Its scent is herbaceous and earthy, a little bit spicy and peppery sometimes. And too bad we don't have smell-o-vision, but it'll still work, trust me. Lavender is harvested in the United States, but also in France. France is well known for its lavender. How lavender oil can help us. It calms the body and the mind. It's great on your skin after being in the sun. It can help reduce blemishes, and it can be used for seasonal support. So it works super well with peppermint and lemon in order to help you with seasonal support. Angelica. Angelica is an oil that I got introduced to recently, and it literally means oil of the angels. This has a sweet, floral, herbaceous scent to it, and it is distilled from the roots. So some of the plants, it's the flowers, some the roots, and more. So each one I'm going to list how it's distilled and what it is distilled from. This can be found in France and Belgium. If you have inflammation, it could help with that. It's something that helps with your digestion, immunity, bringing that into balance, and it helps with your emotions as well. Black spruce. That is from the needles, not the wood, but the needles. This is harvested from Canada. So usually when we're talking essential oils and we're talking about trees, mostly the trees are the things that are going to help us feel grounded and centered and give us clarity. It helps us focus. It keeps us calm. It helps us breathe better. So think about if you're in the woods, usually you can breathe better, and it's from all the trees around us. It also helps promote healthy looking skin. So this scent is woody, of course, earthy, and a little bit sweet. Goldenrod is one you might not be too familiar with. Its scent is woody, it's earthy, it's a little grassy, and just a touch bittersweet. And that is used from basically the whole plant, the stems, the leaves, and the flowering tops. It's harvested in North America and Canada. Goldenrod can be used to help with your circulatory, digestive, and respiratory systems. It also can be calming and relaxing. And I hear that it's really helpful for men in the bedroom. What are essential oils? Well, essential oils are the vitality of the plant. And it's that vitality that helps us with our own vitality. And it's lovely to get it in a plant-based support system. So these essences of the plants come from the plants themselves, the leaves, the flowers, the resins, the roots of plants sometimes, and the flowers and rinds from the fruit. Some are cold pressed and others are steam distilled, and they've been helping humans for thousands of years. When I was talking seasonal support, one of the ways that I use it is I make these inhalers. So in the inhaler on the inside is a inside the plastic is a cotton wig, and I would put essential oils onto the wig. So if you wanted seasonal support, you can do peppermint, lavender, and lemon together, maybe 2 drops of each. And then what you do is you insert it at one side of your nostril and you take a deep breath in, and then you do the other side and do the same, and it really opens you up and it helps you. So that is one useful way to use the essential oils. I thought that would be smoother, sorry. All right, moving on, we are now traveling to Somalia, to Oman and Yemen. And here we will find the frankincense tree. And it's from this tree that the gum or resin is where we get the essential oil from, and that is steam distilled. You may be familiar with frankincense because of its deep, rich, sweet, incense-like scent that probably has been used in maybe some religious ceremonies that you have been to, or some other meditations, yoga classes. It provides a stimulating aroma. It also is great for your skin. It promotes relaxation and it increases spiritual awareness. So frankincense is something that I use quite a bit. Another thing is Roman chamomile oil. Hello. Steam distilled from the flowering top. Roman chamomile, if you're not familiar, is from the daisy family. And it's the flowering top where we get the oils from. This is harvested here in the United States. It also is part of crops that come from Egypt and Bulgaria. Its scent is a little apple-like, a little fruity, herbaceous, and definitely fresh. It helps with inflammation. It helps with, it's anti-spasmodic. It helps promote a restful sleep, and it's relaxing and calming. So chamomile tea, a lot of people drink that before they like to retire, and it helps you relax. And Roman chamomile would be an oil that would help in that way as well. Tea tree oil. Tea tree you might have smelled, and this one is definitely medicinal. It's woodsy, it's earthy, and it is herbaceous. So this is harvested from its leaves. It comes from Australia and South Africa. A lot of people use it for their skincare routine. It also helps with your hair and scalp. It eliminates odors, and it can be used as a natural deodorant. I put all these pictures together and I didn't want them all to be close-ups of plants. And I saw this picture and it made me think of Schitt's Creek and David in the field. Does anyone else see this? I don't know. But if you haven't watched Schitt's Creek, I absolutely adore it and I recommend it. It is a goofy show, but it is very fun. You need to watch a few episodes in the beginning to kind of get used to the humor, but it definitely helped me through the quarantine. I ended up watching it 3 times through because I loved it so much. Tea tree is something that my husband uses in a body wash. So what we do is we take some Castile soap and we add to that some vitamin E oil, because Castile on its own, and this is unscented and it's all natural, Castile on its own can be a little drying. So that's why we add some vitamin E to it. And then we add drops of tea tree oil, and my husband has some skin conditions and this really helps him get rid of those irritations. So tea tree is a really good, helpful oil to have around. There's 3 ways basically to use essential oils. There's aromatic, which that's a diffuser and you can see the steam coming out of it. There's internal, and I cannot stress this enough, do not use your oils internally unless they are marked as GRAS, which means generally regarded as safe for consumption. So some oils are specifically marketed that you can take them internally, but otherwise, if you're just buying them at any little store, I would not at all ingest them. So only special oils can get ingested. You can use them in water, you can use them in tea. Gluten-free. There's this awesome chocolate cake mix that I love from King Arthur, and I put maybe 6 drops of peppermint oil in there, and I have this lovely moist chocolate mint cake then, and it's so moist it does not even need frosting. But I use oils. You can use them to substitute when cooking if you don't have fresh herbs around. Oregano comes to mind if you needed that in, say, you were making a pasta sauce or something. However, some oils are super potent, oregano being one of them. So I would not even put a whole drop of oregano in. I would put a toothpick in my bottle of oil, swirl it around, and then swirl it in the sauce. That is going to be plenty enough flavoring of oregano for your sauce. Another way to use the oils would be topically. So you can use them right out of the bottle, which is called neat. And that would be, you directly would put it on your palm and then apply it wherever you would need it. On your wrists, behind the ears, say you had a headache and wanted to get some relief, peppermint would be awesome. If you had a headache at your temples, you could put it at your temples, but be aware that peppermint is a very strong hot oil, and so you would definitely not want to get it too close to your eyes. What you would maybe do is use a carrier oil to help the oils be absorbed into your body. And I love this one. It's a fractionated coconut oil. When you say coconut oil, you might think there's a fragrance of coconut. There is none. This is light. It lasts a really long time. So I've used like a grapeseed oil before, and that tends to go rancid pretty quickly. So if you're making a roller or something, you're not going to want to use that. But I use this. It's organic. I get it at Target in the cooking section for under $10. So I highly recommend that. Jasmine. Jasmine is expensive. And one of the reasons it is so expensive is because it is only extracted from flowers that are picked before dawn. I mean, that's a pretty short window. It has to be flowering and it has to be before dawn. So that's what makes this a really, really expensive oil. So the scent of this is exotic. It's powerful. It's sweet. It's floral, and it has fruity undertones. I've seen people make rollers with jasmine and they only put 1 drop of jasmine in. There are some oils that are so strong that you only need just 1 drop when you're using great oils. And jasmine is definitely one of them. Too much jasmine. I don't know if you've ever smelled some people wearing too much perfume, and it can be like way too much, but jasmine is awesome in small amounts. It is definitely used as an aphrodisiac. It can be used to help uplift your mood. It really is awesome for your skin, and it helps you with self-confidence. It comes from India. Another oil that we get from India as well as Guatemala is lemongrass. Lemongrass is grassy, of course, and lemony. It's earthy and it's a little bitter. It is steam distilled from its leaves. It has great skin cleansing properties. It purifies the air and it enhances a massage, and it also can help with mental clarity. A great thing to do with lemon oil is to make a spray bottle. So in this spray bottle, I would use some lemongrass in this size bottle, which I think is about 4 ounces. I would use about 10 drops of the lemongrass oil, and then with it, I would use some witch hazel or some cheap vodka. Cheaper the better. And that is just to help stabilize it. And then you use distilled water, not water fresh from the faucet, because you want it distilled so it doesn't get moldy. So if you have somebody who makes a stink in the bathroom, you're going to want to have this baby around to help clear the air. It's also good if you have I don't know if anybody's together right now doing this, but if you had a common area where people were cooking all sorts of smelly foods in the microwave in a shared kitchen, you can just freshen the air with this. So you always shake the oil before you spray, because the oil is going to sit up on top of the thing. So you shake it so it gets dispersed nicely into the air. Cardamom. Cardamom is lovely. Oh, how I love cardamom mixed with some tangerine oil. It's just so exotic. It's a little spicy. It's sweet. It has a little floral undertones as well. So this is steam distilled from the seeds. And this too comes from India as well as Guatemala. So cardamom is great for uplifting your mood. It also can help you if you have digestive issues. It calms your respiratory system and it improves romantic desire. How do the oils work in your body? Well, once you apply them or you have them diffusing into the air, within 22 seconds, those molecules reach your brain. And there's this part of your brain that is connected to memories. Memories and smells are interconnected. So if you smell something vanilla-y, it may remind you of your grandmother's baking, or a floral scent of an aunt who used to wear that kind of perfume, or something woodsy reminds you of some guy that you know. All of these things are in our brain, helping us improve our mood, helping us relax, helping us with memories, pleasant times, things such as this. So within 2 minutes, these essential oils will be found in your bloodstream. Applying them in certain areas gets them directly into your bloodstream, such as your wrists, certain areas behind your ear. And if you liked the property of the oil, but you didn't necessarily like the smell of the oil, a place I recommend is the bottom of your big toe. That also is a gateway into your bloodstream. So what has surprised me that I have learned is, say I had maybe a little bit of a headache and I apply with a roller some peppermint oil to the back of my neck. Within 2 minutes, I feel a warming sensation in my knee, because I have kind of like a trick knee, and that peppermint goes to that area and helps soothe that area as well. So it's pretty interesting that your body knows where it needs this vitality to go, and it goes in the bloodstream and you feel it in all kinds of different places in your body. So within 20 minutes, these oils can affect, improve, balance all the cells in your body. It's crazy interesting. What also is interesting is if you were using products that are toxic to you, these same things could be happening. So if you're using things that are full of chemicals, and the word fragrance is a chemical, don't try and not use things that have the word fragrance in it, because usually it's something that is not good for you and it will interrupt your endocrine system. But things such as this can disrupt your body too. When we think of doing wash for our clothes, I can make my own detergents using the Castile soap, some soda wash, and it's been a while since I made it. I will think of what the third thing is that goes into that recipe. But then you put essential oils and you have it be whatever scent you want. Something refreshing like a lemon or a citrus, something calming like a lavender, any of those things. But 6 years ago, I ditched dryer sheets completely, because mostly that is nothing but chemicals, and I didn't want that on my clothes and on my body. We got woolen dryer balls, and then you take the essential oil and you put a couple of drops on, and you don't even have to do it every time. You throw these in with your dryer, and they are said to help your clothes dry faster. It kind of pounds them out in a different way, but these last a long time. You don't have to keep buying them, and the little bottles of oils, just a couple of drops at a time, is more cost effective than the dryer sheets for sure. Myrrh is another really warm, earthy, woodsy, balsamic kind of smell. It's again something that we would use when we're in meditation or yoga, or just want to calm ourselves down. It also helps with our spiritual awareness. This is steam distilled from the resin of the trees, and it is harvested in Spain. It also helps support your muscular skeletal system. Myrrh is really nice. And myrrh and frankincense, other than being mentioned in the Bible, they really are paired together quite often because they have such magical spiritual qualities to them. Oregano, I mentioned before, oregano can have a really sharp edge to it. It's herbaceous. It is steam distilled from the leaves, and the harvests come from Morocco and France. Oregano helps purify. It's great for digestion. It helps our respiratory system. It also helps with immunity. What you could do is, in here I have these little gelatin capsules. There you go. And what you would do is put a couple of drops of oregano in here. Again, only if it is safe for ingestion. And then I would add some of the coconut oil, because again, we want good absorption into the body system, and that helps with immunity. So that, and maybe some lemon, some frankincense, all of those would be helpful for your immunity system. Oregano also has great antioxidant properties. Rose, oh my goodness. Rose is another oil that is crazy expensive, but it takes so many petals to get the oil out of those petals. It's distilled from the petals, of course. It comes from Bulgaria and Turkey, and it is rich, it's deep, it's sensual. You definitely know if somebody's wearing some rose oil or has some rose perfume on. It uplifts our emotions. It promotes relaxation. Rose is great for skin. So that rose petal is used in witch hazel, which is used as like something for your face to help with toner for your face. So rose is something that's pretty darn awesome. It also helps balance out your feelings. The other day, I was kind of having a day, and I'm lucky enough that I have the really expensive rose oil. It was a gift, which I'm forever grateful. I will treat it like gold. It will last forever because these don't go bad. And I had a drop on top of my head, and I tell you, it really did help improve my mood. And 2 days later, when I was washing my hair, because I don't wash my hair every day, because you really shouldn't, when I was washing my hair, I could still smell the scent of rose in my hair. So it lasts a really long time. That is one that definitely does not go away quickly. There are notes to the oils. So some are deeper, some are mid tones, and some are high tones, and some dissipate quickly, some kind of hold on for a while, and some like last a long time. Rose is one that lasts a long time. Patchouli is something else that scent's not going away anytime soon. And then if you've had essential oils in your home, you know that the oils themselves have a different thickness to them. So something like a patchouli is definitely a thicker oil, and rose might be lighter. Some of the citruses are lighter. There's one called vetiver that helps you sleep. That one is so thick. You have to actually warm up the bottle in your hand just to get drops out. It takes a long time because that one is so thick. So we're talking about how the oils are produced. So cold pressed oils is pretty much reserved for the citrus oils. And that is because their peels couldn't stand the steam. It would wreck the aroma. It would not give us all the benefits of the oil itself. And so they figured out how to cold press them. And then when they're removing the peel and the rind, they're able to still make juice from the oils that they can make juice from. So they're using it in two ways, which is awesome. And I love that. I love some citrus oils. If you are in a bad mood and need uplifting, citrus oils are your friend. Lemon, lime, mandarin, orange, all of those are really good. Another one that is really good is grapefruit. I love grapefruit. It is a scent that is clean, it's fresh. Of course, it's citrusy. It comes to us from the Rhines, and it's grown in South Africa and California. So it's an antidepressant. It's a disinfectant, as most of the oils can help you with that. The citrus oils specifically. It'll help support your endocrine system. It will encourage joy, satisfaction, and even playfulness. I definitely have made a body wash with grapefruit in it before. It's a lovely scent to wake up to. And sometimes I add mint to it, either spearmint or peppermint. Mints and citrus play well together, so that's always a good combination. Bergamot. Bergamot is one of my favorite oils, and this is created from the rind or the peel. They come from Italy or the Ivory Coast, and they're that bumpy little green fruit that you see right here. It has great skin cleansing properties. It definitely will shake those negative feelings that you're having. It supports your endocrine system, and it's calming and uplifting at the same time. If you want to know what bergamot smells like, you might have experienced it already. It's in Earl Grey tea. It's what gives it that distinctive scent. It's sweet, it's lively, of course, it's citrusy, and it's fruity. Bergamot, interestingly enough, is a citrus fruit that you don't really eat the the inside is not great. People don't like it, so nobody's really hanging out eating bergamot, but they sure are using it a lot in skincare products and perfumes. Steam distilled oils. So the botanicals are placed in a still. There's a fire underneath that opens up the pores of the plant, and the steam goes through a cooling area, and then it separates. At the bottom, you can see the water, and on top is the oil. So how long they distill depends on the particular recipe that they've come up with. Some distilled for days, some just hours. It depends on who's making them. So usually what happens is that lovely oil at the top is sectioned off and it is bottled up. And then that water that's left over, sometimes they sell that as floral water. Well, not in a citrus sense, but they do. Some companies end up using that leftover water, as it still has a scent to it, just not as lovely. Palo Santo is awesome. Perhaps you've heard of smudging. Smudging is when energetically you want to clear the air of your space. And so what you would do is have a stick of Palo Santo, you would light it, and then it would have smoke coming out of it. You wouldn't walk around with it on fire. And you would go around the windows, but you would have a window open so that all the negative vibes can escape out the window. You would do doorways, you could do the whole room, you could do yourself. And if you didn't want to have smoke around your house, or you or your kids or your animals, then what you can do is diffuse some Palo Santo. Palo Santo is rich. It is a little citrusy. It's definitely sweet, and it too has an incense-like scent to it. So this is steam distilled from wood chips that have been dead for 2 years of heartwood. So this comes from Ecuador. It helps us with focus. It promotes positivity. It helps with spiritual grounding. And, you know, you can use it for the cleansing and refreshing. Blue cypress. So this is a long-lasting scent, and it's warm, it's woodsy, it's a little earthy. Whenever you're talking trees, if you want to ground and feel centered in your body, reach for a tree oil. Those help you, but they also help respiratory quite often too. This is harvested from the wood, and it comes to us from Australia. This can help with inflammation. It can help ease anxiety. It can be used as a natural insect repellent, and it has great antibacterial properties. I am someone who is very sensitive to things that aren't good. And I have a brother who has a house by a lake, and we were up there one time, and I was getting all kinds of bit up by whatever was out there. And they gave me some sort of a spray to use, and I got so sick from that had DEET in it, and that did not agree with me at all. I could see why the bugs don't like it. It's horrible stuff. So I reach for natural insect repellents instead now. So blue cypress would be one that is good. Patchouli is another one that is known to be good. Definitely, I think it was tea tree also. No, lemongrass for sure. And geranium. So like you could smell nice because geranium smells awesome. Geranium I always think is very interesting because to me, the flowers themselves don't smell, but geranium oil, I love it. If you haven't smelled it, I hope you get to, because it is really, really lovely. Elemi. Elemi is distilled from the resin. It comes to us from the Philippines. Again, since it's like a tree thing, it's going to help grounding. It's going to help clarity. It relieves nervous tension. We like things that calm us down. It helps your immune system, and it has antiseptic properties. So Elemi smells bright and fresh, a little lemony and a little spicy and peppery. Lang Lang. Lang Lang is delightful. It is sweet, it's heavy, it's tropical, and it's a little bit spicy. This is steam distilled from the flowers. It's harvested in Madagascar, Indonesia, the Philippines. It's an aphrodisiac. It helps with the hair and scalp. It's great for your skin, and it too contains uplifting properties. A lot of times people will use this in perfumes. That's the end of the slideshow, but I am definitely happy to answer any questions we may have. I'm going to show you some other things that I make with the essential oils. There we go. Okay. Is there a way, Penny, to make me bigger?
Yeah, I was just going to see if I could do that. Hang on. I can spotlight you, which I think will make you bigger.
I'm in the spotlight now. All right, awesome. So a little bit about essential oils. Why we use them is because everything is made around us has an energy to it. And essential oils have a higher energy than humans do. And when two energies meet, it's been scientifically proven that the lower one raises to meet with the higher one. So that's why we like the vitality and the balancing and the spiritual wonderfulness that we can get from essential oils. So one of the things I would make would be a roller. So this is 10 milliliter roller. And if you were filling the whole bottle up, if that was your intention, I would put up to 60 drops of essential oil in it, because you kind of want a half, you know, half of your carrier oil and half of the essential oils. But if you didn't want to use all of your oils, fill it halfway, only do 30, you know, and you can mix them up with different ones. You might be able to see in here that there are crystals in here. And so crystals have high vibrations to them as well. And so I pair crystals with essential oils when I'm making them. So I get the good juju from both things. And then I would apply them here at my wrist. So when you're applying oils, you get them in two ways, because they're in your body, so they're going to be internalized. But I also take 3 deep breaths. And then it goes to the limbic part of your brain right away. I wear
just put bergamot on my wrist because I was so excited. So now I'm going to breathe it.
Delightful.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Bergamot truly is one of my favorites.
It's really lovely.
So I wear a lot of these diffuser bracelets that are made with the lava stones. And you can see that they're very porous. And this is Palo Santo beads, because I love how Palo Santo sounds. Smells, not sounds.
And sounds.
The porousness of these helps the oils stay on your skin too. Another thing you could do with essential oils is make yourself some bath salts. A lot of people make bath bombs. I like making them as salts because, especially if I'm giving them as gifts, I love a bath. Not everyone has a bath, which I think is terrible. But some people, no matter what, you could have like a tray or a bowl of water that you could put some of the salts in, and you could soak your feet at least, because then you're still getting the benefits of it. There are people who, like I said, have showers, and I make these things called shower melts. And so it has the quality of a bath bomb, but it's like flat, and you put it in the bottom of your shower. So when the water hits it, your feet are absorbing it, plus the smell comes up in the shower. So those are two cool ways to use it.
While you're digging up your other thing, there's a comment that says, learned so much. Thank you. Just
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for being here. I make my own deodorant. This one happens to be empty because you don't really want to see my deodorant. But if you have some beeswax, some shea butter, you can either use baking soda, but some people find that irritating. So otherwise you can use arrowroot powder. And that way you're naturally, and of course essential oils, you're naturally using it as a deodorant, and you're not putting yucky stuff into your body, because this is right by a lymph node. You don't want aluminum being absorbed into your body. So I make my own deodorant. I also use like little bottles like this. I like to make gifts for people. And so hand lotion. So you would get an unscented hand lotion, and then you can scent it any way you wish. So I would put in lavender and geranium are absolutely bonkers together. Those two are so good. But you know your friends, you know what kind of scents they like. And I like making these small little bottles, because then it's like, oh, I'm sick of lavender, and you don't have this whole giant thing of it you have to use. You can use little bits of it. I when I'm wearing makeup, want to take it off naturally as well. And so what I did is whipped up a bunch of the hard coconut oil, the ones you can find at like Aldi's or whatever, the jars of it. So you whip it up with your like mix master or your KitchenAid, and then you add essential oil to it. And so now I have a 2-ingredient makeup remover that it doesn't have a bunch of junk in it, and it's great for your skin, because coconut oil is awesome for your skin. And then I make my own lip balm. So again, really easy. These make great gifts at like Christmas or whatever, if you just want to do things for your friends. So beeswax, some coconut oil, some essential oils, and shea butter, and that's it. You pour them in, and they're delightful. And even at Christmas, I sometimes make a chocolate peppermint one. So I put some cocoa in there, and it doesn't even have to be sweet, but like it's that nice. It tricks your nose into thinking you're eating something sweet. And then I make my own hand soap. So again, I'm using the Castile oil and the vitamin E, and then just some drops of whatever oils you want for whatever scent you want. And these last a really long time. And so sometimes I could get this bottle of unscented stuff for as low as $10, and it lasts a really, really long time, because you're only using like 2 tablespoons a time in this. And so that's some good, easy ways to use the essential oils.
I use Doc Bronner's all the time. I love Doc Bronner's.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
That stuff for forever. I love it. It's great.
Do we have any questions?
No, you have a very silent group here.
Put it in the chat or the Q&A.
A silent group.
I actually have a question while
Yes.
we're waiting to see if anyone else says. So when you put drops on your skin, I probably just put on way too much. Is there too much to put on, or is there an amount that you should shoot for when you're saying putting it on your wrist?
I always like to use a carrier oil with it. So I have like a brown, it's not up here, but like one of those eyedropper bottles that I keep carrier oil in. And so maybe I'll put a drop or two of oil, and then I'll put a drop of the coconut oil on, the fractionated, and rub it in, and then wherever you need it.
Okay.
Or you make what's called a scent tent. So that's, you rub it in your hands, And you
Oh,
take your deep
Oh.
inhales. You want to know the best diffuser you have on your body? Your hair, because it
really?
keeps in there for a while. Like Becca, you would have
Yeah.
an awesome diffuser, you know, just right on you. Um,
Okay, so that's good.
so okay, the way you've been using it is what's called neat. Neat, like if you were drinking without
Right.
anything in it. And it's good. It's fine to do it that way. However, some oils are hot. Like
Uh-huh.
a peppermint oil is hot. Oregano oil is really hot.
Really hot.
If you're applying that, oh my goodness, you definitely need carrier oil.
Tea
But
tree oil.
tea tree also, oh my goodness, right?
You have to be careful with that
You
one.
really do. You
Yeah.
really do. So there
Yeah.
definitely are ones that are hot. And so you definitely want to use a carrier oil with that. So sunflower oil is another carrier oil you can use. You can use almond oil, vitamin E oil, those kinds of things. I just found the fractionated coconut oil to be the lightest. It really is not
Okay.
greasy. It gets absorbed into your skin really nice.
I have a question about headaches. So you like to use peppermint. Are there any other, like would spearmint or any of the other mints work too?
Spearmint is good. You know what's surprisingly good for headaches is basil.
Oh, can you mix, is basil and peppermint good
You
together?
could. You could. Let me just see what else comes up from my handy dandy little app.
And we do have another question too, when you're done with that one.
Yep. Yep. There's another one.
Yay. So here are some good ones. Peppermint, rosemary, basil, eucalyptus, frankincense, lavender, because lavender always is going to calm things down, you know.
Yeah.
Lavender is like the Swiss Army knife of oils. Like you can use that one in so many ways. Marjoram too. Clove is good. If babies were teething or something, like you could rub clove not inside but outside along the jawline, or if you had a toothache. Clove is another oil that would be hot though. I do have a preferred manufacturer, but you could probably email me to find out what one that is. Correct.
I think you can tell them what it is. I mean, you know, I think you can tell them who it is.
Okay. I use a brand called Young Living, and I actually got to see the distillation process in person, which was awesome. And I got to plant lavender while I was there. So the day I was at the farm, they had huge mounds of juniper, and then they were distilling it in the vat had to be almost as big as my bedroom is. So then it went downstairs and you followed it downstairs. So if you remember the picture I had with the oil on top, it was like bubbling and stuff. It was really cool, but it was so lovely to see how that process all works.
Cool. We have two other questions.
Okay.
How is clove? Did you read this one, Penny, or did you read this one, Tamara? How is clove oil for mouth stash? I'm not sure what mouth stash.
Mouthwash.
Mouthwash. Okay.
I
That
would
makes
say, because I also use toothpaste that's made by Young Living, and it has clove and orange oil in it. And so clove is definitely something that could be used, but I would think a whole drop of clove in your mouth would be a whole lot of cloves. So I don't know. I would do a toothpick swirl of it if you were gonna add it to your mouthwash. But I think it would be good if you did have some pain in your mouth for sure. But you can definitely use it outside too.
I will say that like cinnamon toothpaste and things like that, I cannot use those because my mouth breaks out. And just,
Interesting.
yeah, I can eat cinnamon all I want, but cinnamon
So the
toothpaste,
oil might be too much for you then.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. There is one oil that Young Living has that my body does not like it. It does not. And so I can't use it anymore. I break out from it. But
Right.
for the most part, and what is funny is I'm somebody people are like, how are you into essential oils? Because I would always get headaches from people's perfume and stuff, but mostly that's fragrances. That's not
It's so
natural,
different.
you know? And so being around natural products it's so much better. Like I have way less headaches and stuff.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
You could actually make a headache balm out of this too. Like if you had a peppermint one, you could use it for pain. Peppermint and lavender together, that would be awesome to use because it's kind of the same thing, the same ingredients that a salve would be, so it would get absorbed into your skin.
Okay. We do have another question. What app do you use when you were checking, I think, for the different headache meds?
Called the reference guide, and it has a green leaf on it with, it looks like a purple half circle around it, and I think I paid under $10 for it. That one is a paid one, but I love it because give me a thing, anything, and I could look it up and it'll tell you an oil that's good for it, you know. So if you wanted to bring more abundance into your life, bergamot is good for that, Penny. So bring on that abundance.
I need the abundance right now, so that's good.
You know what else is good for that? Cinnamon. And do you remember when we made our abundance jars, we had cinnamon in the abundance?
I still have mine. Mine is here, and it's at you know what? I will tell you this. The goal was to finish the first draft of a novel by St. Patrick's Day. That was the wish. I finished 2 days before. I was very proud of myself.
See, you all should have been at the abundance class. If
that
not,
was fun. Oh my God, that was so much fun.
We'll do another one. Does anyone have like a question on a specific one? So let's just say the pandemic had you a little depressed, right? So oils that would be good for that would be lemon, frankincense, our good friend bergamot, lang lang, rosemary, grapefruit, tangerine, jasmine, basil. Like basil is unusual, but if you this bath salts I made, it was orange, bergamot, and basil. Like what an interesting combination. So like you get to have fun playing with all of this stuff.
Any other questions? Well, I think that is probably about it. And it is 7.
Yeah, that worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
Not without planning, that's for sure. As always, it's a